It's all about community and supporting your neighbor.
It's a beautiful place with a lot of great things to do.
The buildings are cool. The people are cool.
I would call it home.
Stories of scene makers, arts, and events in our community. This is The Beehive with Alana Burman. Gina Cornia is passionate about the breadth of programs that are required to end hunger, though she believes that there should not be a need for them. As the executive director of Utahns Against Hunger, she puts that passion to work, making sure that people in our community have the help they need to have enough to eat.
There's no reason for us to have people who go hungry in this country, whether that's through charitable response or a longer-term response through federal nutrition programs, or talking about policies that eliminate the need for federal nutrition programs. I mean, why do we tolerate as a society people working full-time and still being poor and still needing assistance from the government? I mean, that shouldn't be okay.
This ethic of community support and a sense that those who are more fortunate need to take steps to protect those who are struggling was instilled in her youth.
I grew up in a house where we always had enough, and there were always extra people in our house. And my parents were incredibly generous. In retrospect, I look back at that, and there were really, really thin times for our family. Like, there were long stretches where, there were lots of beans, and I don't remember a night growing up where we didn't have other kids living with us.
Her own sense of the devastation that hunger and poverty can cause was reinforced during the time she spent in South America.
Well, I spent some time in Chile, and it really got me interested in the issue of poverty. The depth of poverty that I saw in South America was just something that I hadn't seen and experienced before, and it really made me start questioning, how do we make things more equitable for people?
She didn't leave that feeling abroad. When Gina came to Salt Lake, she made an effort to make a difference. But in a strange way, seeing the same kind of need cut deeper here at home.
I got back from South America and moved to Salt Lake. It made me start thinking about poverty in the United States, and I volunteered at the Salvation Army Soup Kitchen 3 nights a week, and I would see, hundreds of people lined up, and it wasn't okay.
Gina is still fighting the gap between abundance and food insecurity that can seem impossible to close.
I don't think any of us realize, and even in our day-to-day work here, it still surprises me that there are people who go without, that we live in such an abundant country that there are still cracks in the safety net that people fall through.
Gina and her coworkers at Utahns Against Hunger coordinate local programs and food policy advocacy to end hunger. More information online at uah.org. This is The Beehive with Alana Burman. Community connection, music discovery, truly independent radio on 90.9 FM KRCL.